What lesson from basic training unexpectedly helped you in civilian life years later? Drill Sergeant Matthews had this obsession with making your bed perfectly. Hospital corners, quarter bounce, the whole deal. Seemed pointless at the time. "If you can't make your bed right, how can I trust you with a rifle?" he'd scream, tearing apart bunks that looked perfect to us. We thought it was stupid busy work. What does bed making have to do with being a soldier? Turns out, everything and nothing. 8 weeks of this torture. Every morning, same routine. Make the bed, inspection, get it torn apart, start over. Some guys got so frustrated they slept on the floor to avoid messing up their beds. The lesson wasn't about beds. It was about starting every day with a small victory. Accomplishing one task perfectly before you tackle anything else. Fast forward 12 years. I'm out of the service, working as a project manager for a tech company. Biggest client presentation of my career. $2 million contract on the line. Morning of the presentation, I wake up feeling overwhelmed. 40-slide PowerPoint, 3-hour meeting, company's future depending on my performance. My mind was racing with everything that could go wrong. Then I remembered Matthew screaming about bed corners. Made my bed exactly like basic training. Hospital corners, blanket tight enough to bounce a quarter. Took 5 minutes of pure focus. Something clicked. That small act of discipline calmed my entire nervous system. Started the day with one perfect accomplishment. Built momentum for everything else. Presentation went flawlessly. Landed the contract. CEO asked what my secret was. "I made my bed this morning," I said. He thought I was joking. Started teaching this to my team. Before you check emails, before you grab coffee, make your bed perfectly. Start with one win. Productivity increased 30% within a month. Stress levels dropped. People were arriving at work more focused, more confident. The lesson spread through the whole company. CEO started talking about it in board meetings. The bed principle, he called it. Small disciplined actions create big results. But the real test came during my divorce. Wife of 15 years decided she wanted something different. Moved out while I was on a business trip. Came home to an empty house. Depression hit hard. Couldn't get out of bed some mornings. World felt like it was falling apart. Everything I'd built was crumbling. That's when Matthew's voice came back. Start with the bed, soldier. One task at a time. Every morning, no matter how terrible I felt, I made that bed perfectly. 5 minutes of discipline before facing the chaos. It became my anchor. Slowly, other habits followed. Made breakfast, took a shower, went to work, each small victory building on the last one. 6 months later, I'd rebuilt my entire life. New apartment, promotion at work, started dating again. All because I learned to make my bed in basic training. My therapist called it a coping mechanism. I called it survival training. When everything's out of control, control what you can. Now I teach leadership seminars for Fortune 500 companies. First slide of every presentation, a perfectly made military bed. Leadership starts with leading yourself, I tell executives. If you can't control your morning routine, how can you control a company? The Navy SEAL who wrote that book about making your bed got famous for it. But every drill sergeant in America has been teaching this lesson for decades. Matthews retired as a command sergeant major. 30 years of screaming at recruits about bed corners. Last time I saw him, I thanked him for the life lesson. "What lesson?" he asked. "I just wanted you idiots to keep the barracks clean." Sometimes the most profound lessons come disguised as meaningless tasks. That bed taught me that discipline isn't about big gestures. It's about doing small things right every single day. My kids think I'm crazy for caring so much about their beds. "It's just going to get messed up tonight," they complain. That's exactly the point. You make it perfect anyway, because excellence is a habit, not an event.